Welcome back, drone fans, to another exciting episode of Jamdong Drones. Today, we look at a very special accessory designed to take your videoing with your Android phone to a whole new level. It's the DJI Osmo 4 Stabilizer. Stay tuned, guys, there's a lot more left to learn. Okay, guys, so gimbals in general allows our camera or our cell phone to take very stable shots and it minimizes shaking in the footage. We do this to achieve what is known as a professional look when we're taking our videos. So, in this example, where the gimbal is being used, you'll notice that the shot is very stable. However, in this footage, it is a lot shakier and not so professional looking. Another example of a still footage is this, and another bad example is this. So guys, you want to make sure that your footage is as stable as possible if you're after that smooth cinematic shot. To do this, we're going to be unboxing the DJI Osmo 4 stabilizer today. And if we look on the outer part of the box here, you will see included in the features the magnetic mount, also a foldable and portable feature, the Active Track 3.0, the quick roll, gesture control, and story mode feature. In the next video, we'll go through each of these in depth, but for now, let's just take a closer look at this inspection. So now I'm using a razor blade to just kind of cut the plastic covering, and yes, there is a plastic covering this thing. So the first thing you want to do is remove that wrapping. So once that is off, we can get access to the contents inside the bag or inside the box. Now, as we inspect the box, you'll see that it is compatible with Android and Apple versions, so that's great if you have an Apple device or an Android device. I'm just removing this final tape here. So we're just turning it on the right side here, and DJI has a very neat way of packing its products. So there we go. We are greeted with a cover, and inside here we have it where it says create magnetic moments, very catchy. And on the cover of the box we have some directions as to how to unfold it and how to mount the clamps and all of that. So if you look closer, and these directions are very easy to follow, you'll see that there's a clamp included and you want to attach it to the phone, because again, this is a phone gimbal and not a camera gimbal of sorts. This shows how to unfold the gimbal the right way, and yes, there is a right way and a wrong way, so you may want to pay attention to aligning this thing each time when you lock it and when you unlock it. So it's just two simple steps there. And over to the other side, we have an area to download the app, which is the Mimo app for this uh, phone gimbal. So we're just gonna carefully remove the package in here just to see what is under. And I'm just being very careful not to rip into this thing, and there it is, guys. Look at the state of that thing. So this is the gimbal, but we're not going to be touching that just yet. We're just going to be examining the
Yeah,
contents
boy.
of this box, and then guys, we get to the meat of the matter. Here we have the very nice soft bag, and of course, we use that to take the gimbal around and to make transporting it a lot easier. I feel the fabric, and it's pretty good, well made, very durable, and the rope there to kind of pull to tighten the opening, and very premium quality stuff, guys. So this thing stores the gimbal and the tripod stand, so both accessories can be stored in this bag. So if you're planning on going on a trip, or moving from point A to point B, it's nice to know that there is a soft bag included to pack away our gimbal. So the stitching, just showing you the stitching, guys, very nicely done, and the DJI Osmo logo is on the front. Let's go exploring some more. Now if we look deeper in this box, you'll see that there is another accessory, and this, guys, is the lanyard. So the lanyard is what we would attach to the gimbal to make carrying it easier. So we'd run the thread end through the hole. I think there's a hole in the gimbal there, and we'd pull this rubber section to tighten or loosen the grip around our wrist. So I could carry this thing around my wrist, attach it to the gimbal, and I wouldn't need to hold the gimbal directly. That's great too for portability. Now we go further into the manual, which gives us a breakdown as to, the main parts and pretty much how to use this thing. Now, for the sake of this video, I'm going to be quickly skimming through this section because it is a long read, and for the sake of time, we want to cover as much as possible. So if you want a better understanding of the gimbal, it is advised that you read this particular section. Now, the tripod stand is the next accessory that we're looking at, which is included, and the tripod stand allows our gimbal to stand on its own, and it also gives us an additional reach. Next is the clamp. This is the phone clamp, guys, and this is the one of the most important parts of this, and it is used to secure the phone as we are taking videos or pictures with it. You'll find that it is very, very durable, and to the back of it there's a metal plate which attaches nicely to the magnetic end on our gimbal. This accessory is a riser pad, and it's just for those phones that may not be thick enough to fit inside the phone clamp without moving around too much. We have extra padding, and we just set it in the middle there, and then we'll place the phone on top just to make sure it's seated nicely. So nice to know that we have extra padding should in case we be using a phone that is a bit too thin. So I'll just put that to the side. And now, guys, we are at the meat of the matter, the gimbal itself. Now look at the build quality of this thing. This one is dark gray, and I noticed that DJI loves to use its product, loves to color their products this way. Now remember when I was telling you about the... If this video is helping you, remember to subscribe to the channel, Jamdong Drones. There's always room for one more. Let's get back to the video. Now the tripod stand has a screw-in end which screws in nicely to the bottom of our gimbal, and it's very durable stuff. I really love the quality of this build. Now we're going to check out how to unfold this thing. Now to unfold it is very simple. You want to pull on the front end, and there's an extension right there, so we're just going to pull it back so it slides up and back like that. And I'm being very careful not to allow it to snap back on its own. And there it is, guys. This is with this thing fully extended and opened. So this thing has three axes. It has a roll axis, the yaw axis, and the pitch axis. The axes are the different points where the gimbal will turn or is mobile. And there are many other types of gimbals out there, guys, with way more axes, up to 6 or more. Now it's very important that we take a note that the magnet that holds the phone clamp is very powerful. So you may want to be careful snapping this thing in and out again so your fingers don't get caught in it. Now setting up the clamp is very easy. All you need to do is hold the motor firmly on the gimbal while pulling the clamp off. This will take any unnecessary stress off the motor. Now let's take a look on how to fix this thing onto the phone. See that direction on the clamp? It's pointing to the direction where the camera should be facing when we mount the clamp in. You want to make sure that the orientation of the phone is upright in relation to the clamp itself. Now you want to make sure that it is firmly holding on to the body of the phone. It's spring loaded, so we can just pull on the edge here. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to fasten the edge to one side and pull on the other. Some persons will tell you to use it without your phone case. Others might tell you it doesn't really matter. I say it doesn't really matter. Now, if the gimbal is unbalanced, you have the option of shifting this middle piece right here, which acts like a counterweight. And you might find that from time to time, depending on the weight of your case or your phone, you might need to adjust the balance of this thing so that it is centered properly. I love this feature because it means that it is far more adaptable than your average clamp. Now that we have the clamp attached, we can go ahead and attach it to the gimbal. Now to do this, you want to make sure that the bump on the gimbal is in line with the spacing here. And in a while, I'm going to be showing you. So here I'm picking up the phone, and see that bump at the top? I want to make sure it lines up nicely, and look at the power of this thing, guys. It just snaps right in like that. So that's not going anywhere, guys. And the best part is, now that it is clamped, all we have to do is power it on. And to power this thing on, you just hold and press the M button. And when it comes on, it turns around, and there it is, guys. So it is now on. We have not yet installed the app, but stay tuned because in the next episode coming up, we're going to be installing the app and going through the main features, so you don't want to miss that one. The joystick that you see here allows me to rock the phone from side to side, and it's just spinning the phone now. And remember that there are different modes in this thing, so quite a lot to do with this gimbal as we talk about taking cinematic shots and taking pictures or videos at an interesting angle. Now, the thing I like about this is that these motors are extremely powerful, and it does a very good job of controlling the balance of this phone. See that the movement is coming from three different points: the pitch, the roll, and the yaw axis. Each of these axes allows the gimbal to balance out any shakiness that we might have in our footage. So it's very important that these gimbals remain in good operational condition. To turn it off is just as simple as holding the M button down and it goes off. Now, as I said before, this thing is very portable. You can take it anywhere you like, and it just makes for a neat accessory to have, especially if you have a drone and you want to get some ground shots. So guys, what do you think about the DJI Osmo 4? Do you think it's one of those accessories that you need? Comment down below. And if you have one yourself, I'd like to know your experiences using this wonderful accessory. Join me in my next video where I will take videos with this thing, edit them together, and you will see from start to finish how exactly to use this gimbal to get maximum shots for your videos and pictures. So, until then, it's Jamdong Drones, over and out.